who don't manage to make it to college to provide better vocational training, all of which suggests a government that is more worried than it has been in the past.
We'll recap the latest from Libya after the break, plus lessons in revolt. 5 years after Nepal's civil war, why peace has brought so little progress. Also, not quite as fast as a speeding bullet, but quick enough. Japan rolls out its latest version of its famous train. That's next.
Welcome back. First, across India, we're looking at some very warm temperatures. They're going to be in the mid-30s for most of the weekend, from Saturday as well as into Sunday. As you can see, Nagpur at 35s, Kolkata, it'll be seeing about 35 degrees as well, but you're going to be seeing some clouds in your forecast. Down to the south, we are going to be picking up some rain for Sri Lanka. Now, they had a nice break from the flooding that they had seen. We need to watch this very carefully. More rain is in the forecast. We do have some lands that are still flooded, so this could actually aggravate the situation that is going on in the region. And now I want to take you down towards parts of South Africa. We're looking at some very heavy rain showers across Namibia as well as into Angola. Those showers could lead to some flooding as well, but we have also seen flooding over the last several weeks for the northern part of Mozambique, especially in the river valleys. We had seen over 20,000 people displaced because of the very heavy showers in the region. Madagascar is still going to be seeing some extremely heavy rain over the next couple of days, but not too bad down towards South Africa. Cape Town at 26 degrees, partly cloudy. The showers will be just to the east, and Johannesburg will be sunny, about 27 degrees for you. Well, up towards the Arabian Peninsula, we are looking at some cooler conditions. Here in Doha, temperatures are only going to get to about 24 degrees on Saturday. Abu Dhabi at 23, but we could possibly see some showers for the southwestern part of Saudi Arabia as we head into Sunday.
Welcome back. The top stories on Al Jazeera. Forces loyal to Muammar Gaddafi have attacked areas in and around the opposition-held city of AlJazeera, just west of the capital, Tripoli. Witnesses say at least 30 people were killed. The rebels say the area remains under their control, but the government says it has regained some areas. The U.S. Secretary of State has condemned the killing of at least 6 female protesters in Côte d'Ivoire. Hillary Clinton says the incumbent president, Laurent Gbagbo, has shown a total disregard for human life. And China's Premier Wen Jiabao has pledged to clamp down on inflation and raise income levels. Wen told the National People's Congress in Beijing the measures are necessary to maintain social stability. Well, more from Libya now. According to the UN Refugee Agency, only a few thousand migrants crossed into Tunisia over the past 48 hours, compared to the 10 to 15,000 in previous days. It's raised fears that pro-Gaddafi forces are stopping people from escaping the violence. Some 180,000 foreign workers have streamed across Libya's borders so far. The UN says more than 90,000 have fled to Tunisia, and some 80,000 have crossed into Egypt. Another 2,500 have crossed at the Niger border. But while agencies are warning of a growing refugee crisis, thousands of workers are still stuck inside Libya. Bernard Smith has this report.
Thousands of Bangladeshis are the latest in a stream of refugees to make it across the border from Libya into Tunisia. Waiting for them, a tent camp that can house up to 20,000 people. It's already full. But aid from Europe and the United States is arriving, and the process of moving these people home is picking up. Britain, France and the US are providing aircraft to help the evacuation. The UN says that the number of refugees crossing into Tunisia has actually dropped significantly because the border there is now manned by heavily armed pro-Gaddafi forces. So almost all of Libya's neighbours could end up dealing with fleeing workers. Some have now fled through Algeria, further down Libya's western frontier. And up to 100,000 people may try to cross into Niger in the coming months. That's according to the UN. At Egypt's frontier with Libya, hundreds of African refugees are stranded in a border no man's land. Some have been there for days. Here, the Egyptian authorities have tightened security, fearing that mercenaries hired by Gaddafi may try to flee to Egypt. Bernard Smith, AlJazeera.
A German prosecutor says the man suspected of shooting dead 2 U.S. Air Force members at Frankfurt Airport on Wednesday could have killed more people if his gun hadn't jammed. 21-year-old Arid Uka has been charged with 2 counts of murder and 3 counts of attempted murder. The prosecutor says Uka's gun jammed with 6 bullets still inside the magazine.
He held the pistol directly in front of the third soldier's head and pulled the trigger twice in order to kill him. But the pistol didn't fire, as 1 bullet casing got stuck in the mechanism of the gun, so this soldier wasn't injured. As the accused realized his gun was no longer working, he escaped, but was followed by the soldier and overpowered and apprehended by both him and federal police officers.
A man accused of mass shootings in the U.S. state of Arizona could be executed. Prosecutors in Phoenix have expanded their indictments against Jared Loughner. This will start a review to determine if he should be executed. The 22-year-old was already charged with the attempted murder of U.S. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and the murders of 5 other people. An investment fund manager accused of leading the largest insider trading ring in history has faced court in New York. Galleon fund founder Raj Rajaratnam is accused of soliciting information from workers at publicly traded companies. Prosecutors say his fund made $45 million. He's pleaded not guilty. New data from the United States Labor Department shows an upturn in employment. In February, workers were hired at the fastest pace in 9 months. The unemployment rate also slipped to a nearly 2-year low of just under 9%. But only a fraction of the more than 8 million jobs lost during the recession have been recovered. 3 young sisters have been killed in Peru when their home was buried under a torrent of rocks and mud. Heavy rains flooded a ravine in the northern town of Moyomba, triggering the landslide. The children's parents were saved. 3 other people died in the town and several others were missing. Nepal's former Prime Minister Krishna Prasad Bhattarai has died at 87 years old. Bhattarai served as Prime Minister of the Himalayan nation twice after leading a popular movement to restore multi-party democracy in 1990. And again, 9 years later, Bhattarai will be cremated on Sunday. Now, Nepal's Maoist party has agreed to join a coalition government, ending a month-long deadlock. On Friday, the Prime Minister appointed 4 Maoists to his cabinet. Nepal is still struggling to recover from a decade-long civil war between the Maoists and the state that ended about 5 years ago. Subina Shrestha has this report from Kathmandu.
Prabha Kharka lost her husband 5 years ago in Nepal's last revolution.
At that time, everyone was protesting. My husband also joined. He used to say that we have to protest for the country, for the people and for freedom.
Praduna Kharka was shot dead by security forces on the 20th of April 2006. He's remembered as a martyr. After 10 years of civil war with Maoist rebels and governed by an unpopular autocratic monarch, people